everyone, and welcome to A Light Heart Tarot. My name is Val, and if you are new to this space, A Light Heart Tarot is a sacred space where we support each other as we're navigating through the journey of grief. And for those of you who have been here, welcome back. So, today's reading is going to be for the collective, and it is a reading on what is it that your deceased loved ones want you to know. So what we're going to look at is what are the messages, especially around this month of change. And what I've noticed is that while this reading is timeless, if you are watching this in October, I do find that there are seasons that happen in our lives, and October is one of those times that triggers us to really go within ourselves, start preparing for hibernation, and also releasing those things that no longer serve us. So that may be holding on to worry, guilt, regret. So we may see these emotions come up, especially during the month of October. And so what is it that our loved ones want to share with us during this time? Please know that if you do watch this video beyond October, this is a timeless reading. So when Spirit calls you to come to connect, there will be a message for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at Oracle, and then we'll go into direct messages. So I think this will be a shorter reading than what we've done in the past, but I still think that the messages will be definitely for the highest good and will provide clarity and support. And so while I've already blessed this space and have prepared the space, as always, I do want you to just, as you close your eyes, just imagine that you are being surrounded by beautiful white light and wonderful energy. Think of the love from your loved one and their energy and their love surrounding you, and know that this space is sacred, this place is safe. And as we start moving into the messages, if there's anything that you want to write down, please have a pen and paper, as sometimes messages will pop up after a reading. And finally, I just wanted to share that if you, it really helps the channel if you like, comment, or even subscribe. And if you need any help, need tools such as meditation, there are free tools on my website that you can go to alightinthechaos.com. Or if you want a personal reading, those details are also in the description in the bio. So let's get started. As I mentioned, we're going to use an Oracle deck, and for the month of Halloween, we're going to use the Halloween deck. So, Spirit, and for our loved ones who are always surrounding us and bringing beautiful love and light to us, what messages would you like to share? What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Okay, so the first card that comes up is Barmbrack. And if I am not pronouncing that correctly, I apologize. But it's sweetness and synergy. And so if you look at this card here, we see how the pumpkins have then become this beautiful pumpkin bread. And it also tells us that there's no such thing as an ending. There's always, energy is always moving and transforming and integrating to become something else. So the pumpkin from the inside this gourd ends up being used for recipes. Seeds can grow new pumpkins again. I just learned that there are ways that we can make the gourd last longer and have other functions for us. And even I also learned for watermelon, for example, the rind can be used for candy. There's always life that is being beget out of something else. And I'm also being shown the image from the movie The Mummy, where the line that says death is only the beginning. And so it's that notion that death doesn't end. Nothing ends. It changes, it transforms, it takes on new energy. But also, the things that sometimes scare us can also help us as well. So, for some of you in this group, I think you may have been attempting or looking to connect with your loved ones, and there have been moments that may have scared you a little bit, such as you come home, and what I'm seeing specifically, there is a specific example, someone coming home, lights turning on. Now, if you're the only person inside that house, then that does feel jarring and it does feel um, alarming. And because the bouncer in the club, which for those of you who are new, is that part of our mind that and that ego that just wants to protect us, it may see it as something scary. And your loved ones are coming here and they're just letting you know that it's them and there's nothing to be afraid of. And also, the final message that I'm receiving from this card is that through difficulties can sometimes come the sweetness. And it doesn't come immediately, but it does come through ways of people who come into our lives, opportunities that seem to just come in to support us and to let us know that we are loved and we are loved. So that's really a general message, but it's an overall message for as we open up this reading. And so what other messages from your loved ones would they want you to know? So we have the skull of light or illumination. And let me pull one more out because I'm being called that this card needs a companion. And that's why. The ancestors, love and legacy of our DNA. So this is definitely a confirmation that your ancestors and your loved ones are supporting you. And they're also bringing you these moments of illumination. One loved one is coming up and they are showing me it is right now. I'm just closing my eyes because it's a quick movie that they're showing me because I think it's a long story. So long story short, okay. so long story short, what has happened is that there is one of you who may be watching this video, or this may however this resonates, is that there was a family disagreement. And actually, it was more than a family disagreement. It was one of those family rifts that took place for many years. And when you found out that this loved one had passed away because they had been estranged from the family, and it feels like a male energy. So he would have been 26 years old. He has curly-ish hair that kind of falls right at the shoulders, about 6'3", and he has a guitar on his back. And so music, he's showing me that music is something that's important to him. But it's almost a story, it feels like, of the prodigal son. A family member who left their roots, went away, but it caused family rift. And with that, it also caused just a lot of internal fighting between the family members. But when you all found out that he had passed away, it was that opportunity to just let the pain and whatever fights were happening to just go to the side, so that then the family can come together and really be a unit. And so the love for this beautiful soul has brought the family back together. But also the image that I'm seeing is for many of you who are watching today's reading, is there has been a path and a journey towards enlightenment. So for many of you, when your loved one passed away, you started reading books. and you started listening to podcasts, watching movies. The movie that's coming up right now for me is What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams. That, for some of you, was a really big, um, it was like, it kind of felt like an accelerator that just accelerated you into knowing that death is only the beginning, but what happens afterwards. And so there were readings with mediums, going to classes. Some of you may have taken deaf doula classes. So there was this journey from wanting to learn, to explore, to really understand what happens when our loved ones pass away. And so that has been something that your loved ones are coming in and they're letting you know that allow yourself to also be curious. And why that's important is because many times we read and we study, and it sometimes then still it blocks us from actually connecting, because we're so much in our head. It blocks us from connecting with our heart and being able to connect with our loved ones in a heart to heart way. So sometimes it's okay for us to just allow the communication to happen. However, it also, they are coming to acknowledge um, just how in doing this work, you are also creating healing. So questions that you may have had, if your loved one was sick with a long-term illness, there are some understandings that are coming up. If there was, and I'm also seeing and again, when I get these images and glimpses, they come real quick, and so I have to talk about them now before it goes away, the thought goes away. But there is an image of someone who may have run away, and then they returned, but and that's not how they passed away. They ran away, they returned, and then they came back to the family. But it did cause strain also. It was like a before and after. The person who left and the person who came back were two different people, and it caused a lot of just trying to understand who this new person was. And so there was strain. There were again, the word estrangement, people separating and living apart. But it then feels like in this journey, as you're going through understanding what happens to our loved ones when they pass away, you are also understanding what happens sometimes to the spirit when they make these big decisions and then they come back and they're a different person. How do we forgive? How do we then see from a higher perspective and offer our love and forgiveness as well as ask to be forgiven? So there's a lot of, it feels like this reading has a lot of family and ancestral healing that is taking place. We're going to pull two more. So we have the hearth. So happiness in our hearts and our home. And then we have the graveyard, unnecessary fear. And it's also, what I'm hearing is, don't look back. You're not going that way. And so it does feel that for some of you, if you have been looking back at the past and have been looking and questioning yourself on the things that you should have done or what you could have done, your loved ones are letting you know, again, don't look that way. You're not going in that direction, because what it matters and what's important is the present moment right now. We can't look in the future, because then we start future tripping and creating stories of things that haven't existed. What we can do is live fully here in the present. And especially what it feels like, this whole reading just feels like family healing and family dynamic healing. If you and your loved ones had any type of feelings towards each other where you should have said things, I love you, or apologized or taken accountability, they're letting you know, as they're going through their life review, they have seen how their actions have affected you, and they're asking for forgiveness. And at the same time, they're asking, can you offer forgiveness to someone else? either to them or to a family member that is still here. Because really what is important is the present and the grounding. The family, while, and when I say family, I am also talking about those that we even call our family who may not be family by blood. What is important is for you to find your center, your happiness. And if we keep looking in the past for the answers, we will not be able to be here in the present and to keep moving forward. And so your loved ones are coming in and they're letting you know that they are here supporting you, and they're going to support you in all the ways that you need it. So through the earth angels, through signs, synchronicities. But can you let go of the past? Forgive. Offer forgiveness to them and offer forgiveness to yourself for whatever it is that you are holding. There is one brief and especially what I'm seeing, there is a mother and sister that are in spirit together right now, and they're asking for forgiveness for the person whom it resonates because they passed away. And they passed away not too far apart together. And there is a part of, for those who it resonates, there's an anger for why did they leave me here alone, and they are coming together and they're saying, please do not hold the anger into your heart, and know also that they are here talking with you. And there have been times when like your favorite song has come up, and this isn't just like a Taylor Swift song. This is like a specific 1964 song that comes up and which you listen to, and it's them letting you know that they're there. But they're also saying that this is what happened, and we can't be angry for what has happened in the past when you have such a future ahead of you to also help other people. And so they're calling to you and just asking, and all of your loved ones here, can you be here in the present? They understand that it's heavy, they understand that it's hard and that you're hurting, but they're asking, can you be here in the present? So now we're going to look at messages from your loved ones. Okay, so now we're going to go into specific messages. Now the first deck that I'm going to be using, I will admit, is a deck that I've never used in this reading before, because it's actually from the Live Tarot Love Oracle deck. But your loved ones have asked me specifically to use this deck first, and I think because there are messages in here that are very much needed for you all to hear. And so just, you know, I try to support as many of our readers on YouTube by purchasing their decks and their products. But also, if there is a deck that you think that I should be looking into, maybe it's your favorite deck, please let me know. Okay, so thank you. We'll put that there, and thank you. For those of you who are new, when it comes to this section, I only do cards that fly out. And were you trying to fly out? Then yes. Okay. So let's just take a look. The first one is Ascend. Expansion, evolution, universal intelligence. Stay connected to spirit. So again, this is the confirmation what I was sharing in the first part of the reading. For some of you who have moved into this state of wanting to expand your consciousness, maybe you're practicing your psychic or mediumship abilities. I also see for some of you, there's like specific, I'm being zeroed in, it's like a small group, but some of you have moved into what I would call, not ghost busting, but going to haunted trips. And I feel like this was kind of a part of your ethos and who you were anyway, but it really has become a bigger part of your just wanting to understand what happens after your loved ones pass away. But for the majority, many of you, there is a consciousness and an expansion that's happening because you're seeing synchronicities. There are things that you cannot explain. For some of you, even for the ones who have a hard time connecting with their loved ones, they're also hearing it from friends and other family members. And there's also a curiosity to wanting to learn more. So your loved ones are letting you know, keep moving into that, onto that path. Stay curious, want to know more, want to understand what happens to our loved ones, if that is something that resonates with you. Because I know for some, it's easier and it feels safer to hear the messages, but not to actually move too much further into wanting that firsthand experience and knowledge. We also have surrender. So detach, trust, free fall, and have faith that all will be well. And so again, as I felt, there is the thematic that feels like that's coming up are family ties and creating that forgiveness and knowing that everything's going to be okay. I am being called into the energy of someone that's really going through a rough time right now. And I know that all of us are going through rough times. But this energy is calling, it feels like families have been pulled apart. So children who have been taken from the family and have been separated. So it feels, to say this delicately, it feels like there are siblings who have had separate parents. And so there is one who's being pulled after the mother energy has passed away. There's one that is being pulled into one family and it feels like grandparents. And there's another one that's being pulled to a different family. And that has also caused a strain on the family dynamics because this mother energy wants her children to be together. You all will figure it out. It feels like these two families are going to end up moving closer together, but surrender and know that everything's going to be okay. We also have self-worth, so value, self-esteem, confidence, and being powered by valuing yourself. But it's also, what I'm hearing is the whole Parks and Recreation, treat yourself. So you have done a lot. You've been hustling and really have been, one, navigating through your grief journey, but two, making sure that everyone else is okay. And it's okay for you to take that moment to just really just take care of yourself. So I'm seeing for some of you, that is the form of a vacation. And interestingly, for some of you, that is in the form of a video arcade. So one of you is really into not just any type of video arcade. Like this is like serious gaming, like gaming tournaments is what I'm feeling. And I don't know why that's coming up when I'm talking about take self-care, but it feels like being in the zone. And I'm being pulled and shown an image from my own life. So I used to own every single gaming console from the Atari 2600. And for those of you who need to know, that was something from the 1970s. So I am old. So all the way through up until when my husband passed away. And then I stopped purchasing gaming consoles, being a collector and playing games and doing the same thing, playing in tournaments. I played recently, maybe about a month ago, on an old Xbox, an old game, and just being able to shift into that mindset and just being pulled into another world was really, it mentally relaxed me. And I know that sounds weird, but I guess I'm just making a connection. I guess that's where the whole relaxation comes in. But also know what I'm hearing is that you are enough. You've always been enough, and you don't have to. And this is a male energy that's coming up now. You don't have to walk in my footsteps. You can take off the shoes and wear your own shoes, is what I'm hearing. And so for some of you, if you've been trying to do things just as your parents or grandparents or friends or whomever you, even a mentor, you no longer have to walk in their shoes. You have your own shoes, and those shoes are really, really amazing. So just also connect with that. And then we have community, so friendship, fun, a light heart, enjoy downtime with friends and family. So it's really finding those roots again. As I said, for those family ties that have been broken, they're going to come back together, and they will come back together stronger than ever before. Just trust and know that your loved ones are doing their part to fix some of those the ties that have broken. I'm being shown the movie Brave, where Merida tore the tapestry from her and her mother, and how sewing it back together created a stronger bond. And so your loved ones are just really coming to confirm if there is a family dynamic that just feels like, how is this ever going to get better? Have faith, it will. Because the final card is blessing. And so protection, attention, and love. Your guides are always with you. And your loved ones are always with you, connecting with you, supporting you. Again, as I always say in every message, sending you those earth angels to help you when you need them most. And so let's pull a few more cards and messages. And again, as I said, I've never used that deck before for readings, but thank you, Spirit, because I do think that this, while the intention when these cards were made were specifically for love, I think it also, the messages are so beautiful and touching. Only cards to fly out, please, Spirit. Only, yes, okay. Only cards to fly out. As you can tell, sometimes these cards like come out like, flying like missiles, and sometimes it's like, do I want, thank you. Only cards to fly out. I really need to do something with this camera setup. I apologize for, again, I have a new holder and it's on a spring, and it just seems to just always just have a mind of its own, even when I try to keep it like still. So I will figure that out. But the first card that came up is Yes, I Heard You. So if you did have a question for them just now, or if there has been a question overall, they are letting you know they heard you, and they are working on helping you get through that. I am also hearing that for some of you who have been trying to connect with your loved ones telepathically, they're also coming in and confirming that they can connect with you telepathically, and they're also connecting with you in your dreams. And some part of me knew there is, for some of your loved ones, there were, this feels like the energy that's coming in when this card came out is someone who passed away quickly and unexpectedly. It feels, what the image that I'm seeing is a motorcycle, but it's a dirt bike motorcycle, so it's not like a heavy motorcycle. It's like a thin frame, and there are sayings that a part of them knew before, in advance, before they were going to pass away. And the energy that I'm hearing is they came to you, and it was almost intuitively like the two of you shared these moments of just enjoying childhood memories. So watching shows together that you used to watch as children, doing things together that you would have done together earlier in life. And there was just a part of them that felt like this was important for them to do now, because they felt like they would not have had the chance. And so for any of you, if you had that feeling of, why is my loved one asking to do these things, or you're looking back and you're seeing events that felt like they may have known, then they're saying there was a part of them that did know. And for some of us, we do know spiritually and energetically when it is our turn, or when something is going to shift in our lives. And so for me, my husband, even though he passed away unexpectedly, he wanted to watch every single Alien movie with me. And then we took drives out to his childhood home and to all these things that they just seemed. And he started telling me secrets that he had been holding on to forever. And he didn't know why he all of a sudden felt the need to do this. But it was this feeling of the energy, the spiritual part was just like, I don't want to leave without you knowing everything and us sharing these last moments together. So your loved one is coming in and confirming that. And the last one is, I hope that you can forgive me. So again, going back to when we were connecting in the first part of the reading, if there had been a strain or whatever the journey that the two of you may have taken together, which could have been some good times and bad times and challenging times, they're asking, can you forgive me? And can you offer forgiveness to those who are in need of your care? And so let's just pull a couple of messages from Heaven with Love Oracle deck. And again, only cards that fly out. Spirit. Only cards that fly out. Okay, so 1. Thank you. 2. Thank you. And 3. Clearly my counting and actually how what there, because there's 5, so don't pay attention to my counting. It's like, I joke because it's like gym trainers who tell you that you have 10 minutes left, but really you have like only 1 minute. Dear love, I see you have my photo or keepsake near you at all times. Every time you look at it or hold it, know that I'm there comforting you. Dear love, I know all of this feels so sudden, and I'm sorry for the things that I could not say or for the moments that we planned that we can't do physically together. Perhaps one day you will complete these for us and create new memories. I love you. And I definitely feel that for some of you, you will be taking a trip. Right now I'm seeing Charleston, also international trips to Southeast Asia. So those are coming up, but whatever was on your bucket list, you will complete that for them and they will be there with you, experiencing everything that you're experiencing. And dear love, I will try hard to send you a message. I just pay attention to the signs. It may be as simple as a feather, our favorite song, or hearing my name in a crowd. I promise I am with you. And dear love, P.S. in case I haven't said it enough, I love you. And dear love, something I have learned is that life is forever changing. I know you are going through a lot of changes that are difficult and coming at you all at once. Breathe through it. You will be okay. You got this. And finally, I'm going to do a couple of postcards, and these obviously are not going to be the ones that fly out, but we'll pick intuitively. What messages would you like to share? Hey there. I'm the loved one that's not the closest to you, but sometimes think of me. I just stopped by to say hi today and to say I'm here too and send you love. Many times I love that when we have just sometime our loved ones that just kind of pass through and want to just say hi. And let today be the day to laugh. Find humor in all things. Laughter is the best way to raise your vibration and surround yourself in the same love and light that I am surrounded in. Remember, don't take life so seriously. It's meant to be lived imperfectly and full of memories like the ones we've shared. I love you. I love that one. And let's just do one more. Will you cook my favorite dinner for me tonight? I know I can't eat it, but I can be there to enjoy your memories of me that we shared when we had this meal. I'm still loving food from heaven. Love it. Well, I do hope that these messages have brought you clarity and some guidance and some just gentle support. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. And I will see you in the next video. Sending my love and light to you. And I will talk to you soon.